Right, so I'm going to show you how to use the attributes button in the candidate search. Now the attributes button looks at what's in your candidate's records and gives you a few additional search options that might be quite handy for you. So firstly, I'll show you a candidate record, okay? And this will just give me a bit of context before I go to the search as to what it's possibly searching on. So a candidate record holds the basic information, so it holds the dates that candidates were registered on, the dates that they're listed as available from. But on the compliance section, it also shows other elements that you might want to search on. So for example here, there is a compliance field called Court Order 1, and there's a compliance field called Court Order 2. Now these can be configured for your system, but if I go back to a candidate search now, so if I flick to that candidate search, just bear that in mind when I go to the attributes. So in the attributes, the first thing it shows me are elements from the compliance tab that it knows are on candidate records. For example, someone has a record in the database has a court as Court Order 1, and multiple records have no as Court Order 1. Okay, so this allows me to actually find those candidates with a court in Court Order 1. So that ends up being very powerful because I can actually search on specific values that are in those compliance tabs. So as an example, I might want to have a compliance option that is a style of driver's license, and it could be a B license, a C license, an A license, and it will know that what our candidates have stored on them and present them as an option here. Okay, so it indexes your candidates for those options and stores them here. Okay, so it allows me to search specific values on those options that it knows are listed in those compliance tabs. So that can be very helpful. The next, I suppose, very helpful part is that if I want to look at people who are registered within different date ranges, so I've got date registered here. So I'll show you how you can use some of these attributes very powerfully. So as an example, I might want to find candidates who have been registered in the last day. If I do that, I click on the date registered, it presents me with these options, and I can tick the last day, and that will show me candidates registered within the last day. Now I can clear the list here and do candidates within the last month instead, or clear it again and do it within the last year. I can also start to get quite complicated with it if I want, and say, well, I'm interested in people who have been registered in the last week, but I'm not interested in people who've been registered in the last day. So that combination will show me people registered in the last week, but exclude the people who've been registered in the last day. Okay. So not only can I do that with date registered, I could do that with the date of the CV, I can do that with the employment type if that's listed on their record, with certain location classifications, notice periods if you've stored that, profile groups. So it's a very powerful way of using very advanced searching to get to the data that's stored in your database. So if there's something that you're trying to do that you're not quite sure how to get that search, then I would advise checking the attributes first, because we've added items here that have been requested from customers over the last 2 or 3 decades to make sure that they can find the candidates that they need to find very powerfully. Okay, thank you.